everyone. I'm your host, Kateri McKnight. I welcome you to the call, the creativity call, the first call of the year. I have Kiana Lachey, our personal coach, our personal branding coach and strategist on the line, and she's going to open our eyes to branding ourselves. Kiana, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
so much. Take it away. I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good night. I hope you all are staying warm tonight. I'm excited to be able to share some insight about personal branding, especially as an author. So when I was in business school, the term branding was always used towards a business. We never learned that as an individual you could have your own brand. And so it wasn't until about 3 years ago when I decided to start looking into working from home that I discovered that you could have a personal brand. And then later on I found that no matter what you were doing as an entrepreneur, you had to have a personal brand. And I definitely consider authors entrepreneurs. So building your personal brand as an author is crucial, especially if you would like to branch off into doing workshops and speaking engagements, because there are several ways to monetize other than just book sales. When you brand yourself effectively as an author, your readers will come to expect and anticipate your new releases. And eventually, as word of mouth spreads, non-readers will know what genre you write for, and even then come to expect and anticipate your new releases or look for your previous ones as well. So I've never read a Zane, Stephen King, or Nicholas Sparks novel, but I do know which genre each author belongs to, and that's all due to great personal branding. So today I'm going to share with you 6 ways you can begin to brand yourself as an author. So make sure that you have your paper and your pen ready. But before I get into the goods, I want to talk to you about your mindset real quick. If your mindset is off, then the information I share won't be worth anything to you, and you probably won't do anything with it. Building a successful brand is not something that can happen overnight. But more importantly, you need to prepare for this success. So as of right now, you are a successful best-selling author. I don't care if you haven't even written your book yet. I want you to step into your power as an established author. Believe it, feel it, and then prepare to hustle your butt off. Every day, I want you to tell yourself that you are a successful best-selling author. Every single day, multiple times a day if needed. So now that you are feeling like that best-selling author you know you can be, let's dig into the content. Okay, so step 1, find a genre you are passionate about. When you are starting a fresh brand, you want to get very clear on what you will be writing about. It's best to pick a genre that you're passionate about, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. You don't want to be all over the place with your writing. If you start writing mystery books and then bust out with the romantic comedy books, your followers may be a little confused. And my best advice for those who want to write under multiple genres, write under different pen names. It'll eliminate the confusion and keep your followers intact. My favorite author, Sophie Kinsella, she's the author of the Confessions of a Shopaholic series. She writes under another pen name, Madeline Wickham. And I can definitely tell a difference in her writing style under, each pen name. So by her writing under 2 different pen names, it really helped to distinguish the difference between her writing styles. It's like I can pick up a book and not even look at, whether she put Madeline Wickham or Sophie Kinsella. Just by reading it, I know which pen name she wrote under. Okay, so step 2. Know your ideal reader. Unless you plan on buying every copy of your book, you'll want to find out who your ideal reader is. Knowing whom you want your book to appeal to is equally as important as knowing what genre to write under. Who is the woman or man or child that you see eagerly running to Barnes & Noble to pick up a copy of your book? And I mean, get so specific on who this person is that you give them a name and then ask, would Veronica like this book or addition to this series? Not seriously Veronica. I definitely just made Veronica up. But some questions you definitely want to ask are, what is your ideal reader name? What is his or her age and gender? Does, he or she have a faith or religious preference? What are his or her hobbies and interests? Knowing everything about your ideal reader will also make it easier to market to them. If you've ever tried to run like a Facebook ad, there's all of these like interests and stuff that you can fill out. If you know exactly who this person is, filling out that information will be easy and you'll be able to target the right people. As you become more established, running ads might be something that you really, really want to think about doing. And another thing, it's one thing to say you write romantic comedies, but it's another to say you write romantic comedies for Christian millennials. Romantic comedies, that's broad, but romantic comedies for Christian millennials is definitely more specific. Step 3, build a website with a purpose. With any brand, your audience should land on your website and immediately get a feel for you. Also, having your own branded website means that your site will rank first for a Google search for your name. So we're going to run through the most important pages on your website. Your About Me page. Believe it or not, your About Me page is one of the most viewed pages on your website. We want to know the woman or man behind the book. And this is where you will give a little insight about you and what your audience can expect from you. Do you have any relatable achievements? Put them on your About Me page. And by achievements, I mean something like an author's award or being featured in a magazine or on a blog, a podcast, etc. And if you've ever hit a bestsellers list, then you definitely need to put that on your page. And if you already have something published, you can go ahead and reference it on your About Me page as well. The next page would be your home page. Every home page is built differently, but there are some key elements you definitely want to have in place. You want to place focus on above the fold. Above the fold is what someone sees when they land on your website and haven't scrolled down. Usually you will see a brand's logo, who they are, what they do. Your important information should be easy to find prior to scrolling down. Usually you have about 5 seconds to make an impression as soon as someone reaches your website. If you go to even my website right now, you'll see Kiana Lachey, showing ladypreneurs how to build and market a brand they can be proud of, right there in your face. You don't even have to scroll down to find that information. The next page is your products page. So clearly this is where people go to make their purchases. So you definitely want to make sure that this page is on point. When someone is viewing your book online, you want to make sure that you give a great synopsis of your book to really draw the reader in so that they don't even have to think twice about purchasing your book. This could be the same synopsis that is already on your book, or if you want to write a completely different one, it's definitely up to you. But definitely give them something so good that when they're done reading it, they're like, I need this right now. Step 4, have a brand statement. Some may know this as a tagline or even a mission statement. A tagline is usually short and sweet, where a mission statement is often longer. The point of either is to convey to your audience what your brand is about. New York Times #1 best-selling author Sophie Kinsella, again, author of Confessions of a Shopaholic, she uses the tagline, the queen of romantic comedy. 5 simple yet effective words that tell us that she clearly writes romantic comedies and she is the best at it. author and master life coach, Cara Leba, who is the author of The Champagne Diet and Girl Code, she uses the mission statement. Cara Leba is an author and master life coach from New York City who encourages women to create a champagne life that entails living effortlessly, celebrating themselves every day, and making their happiness a priority. When crafting your mission statement, there are usually 4 elements that need to be identified. It is what you do, who you do it for, how you do it, and what value you are bringing. And if you feel that a mission statement is not a good fit, then you could go with a tagline, and this is usually a short sentence that conveys a feeling or purpose of your brand. For example, if you write romantic murder mysteries, your tagline could be passion, murder, love. Now, really to distinguish the difference between the two of which one you should use, what I've seen personally is that if someone is an entrepreneur and they do other stuff outside of just writing books, they will usually use a mission statement. But someone who is just solely writing books, they usually go with a tagline. So definitely just, do what feels good to you and what you feel is best for your brand. Step 5, build a following. A loyal following means consistent book sales. I know that all of you want that. But how do you begin to build your following? You need to pick, at most, 2 social media platforms to dominate, the ones that your ideal reader is on. And if you successfully created your ideal reader profile, then, of course, you'll know where they're at, right? Get on those platforms and start socializing. Get, social media, socialize, just be social, and start providing value on your topic. And by value, that doesn't mean that it has to be like something that's business related. Think about Chanel Cooper Sykes. If you go to her Facebook fan page, she's providing value. It's feel-good value. It's value that feeds your soul. Chanel, she is a phenomenal woman, a great God-fearing woman, and she definitely lets that be known. And she's always posting stuff that really you can use in your everyday life. So step 6, connect, collaborate, and celebrate. I don't care what anyone says, you cannot do it alone. So it's important that you are connecting with other authors, especially in your genre. Genuinely connecting and supporting other authors could lead to them helping to endorse your books. Now, I'm not saying go connect with people just so that they will endorse your books, but, come from a good place when doing so. Imagine if another author in your genre created a social media post supporting your newest release. That right there just put you in front of a whole new readership. These could be people who had absolutely no idea who you are. And you can even do collaborations with other authors. Host a webinar together, or an in-person event, or even a teleseminar, much like the one you're on now. When I was living in Virginia, it was in Norfolk, there was a business women's conference that I went to. And it was the first conference that I had ever went to. And it was just so amazing because there were so many women. It was held inside a church, and, they were preaching, and, everyone was just connecting and networking, and it just felt good. There were several authors that were there, exchanging ideas, having free book giveaways. This is also a great way to get to know and connect with other authors. Most importantly, you definitely want to celebrate, other authors' wins. If another author has made a bestsellers list, celebrate with them. Even if your time hasn't come yet, it definitely will, and that's why at the beginning we went through this mindset work, because you will be a successful best-selling author. But when other people hit, goals and they have wins that they're excited about, celebrate it with them. They're going to notice that. And when you celebrate for them, when your time comes, trust me, they're going to be there for you as well. So, as we've learned, it takes more than just writing books to build your personal brand as an author. You need to find a genre you're passionate about. Know who your ideal reader is. Build a website with a purpose. Craft a brand statement. Build a following and more. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. And you certainly don't have to spend years figuring out how to brand yourself. And that's why I created the Build Your Brand Like a Boss workbook. I wanted to take the guesswork out of brand building. Many people believe that branding is all about pretty fonts and colors, and that couldn't be furthest from the truth. You wouldn't build a house on the beach without having the proper structures in place. The same goes for your business. Your brand is the solid structure that holds your business together. So in this 87-page workbook, it will walk you through how to discover exactly who your ideal reader is, how to conduct market research and find out what your readers really want from you, the 3 solid structures you must have in place to really build your brand like a boss, and more. So I have a very, very special offer for you guys tonight. For everyone who goes and purchases the Build Your Brand Like a Boss workbook tonight, will receive a free 45-minute personal brand assessment with me. And you can use that time to really dig deep into building your personal brand, because this is what I do. And if you want me to go with you and walk you through the workbook, or if you want the insight of someone who just does this professionally, I'll be more than happy to assist you with that. And I definitely thank you so much for having me on the call and for spending your time with me, because time is something that you can never get back. So I really, really appreciate it.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Shanika Canty, your e-connection leader in the Indie Authors e-connection on Facebook. I want to personally thank Miss Kiana Lachey, who's also been my branding coach in the late summer of 2015, and she really helped me dig deep on my brand and really developing myself and positioning myself as an author. So I just want to say, you guys, take her up on her offer. She's amazing, and she's great at what she does. I personally purchased the workbook, and for those of you that are on a budget, this is giving you a chance to, be able to, to learn everything and do it yourself. But as she said, she's offering you this 45-minute free coaching session where you can really dig deep and get the insight that you need to help you really position yourself as a published author, which is everyone's desire. So, Kiana, thank you so much. And also to my sister Kateri, who jumped in when I needed her to start the call. So you guys have a great night. Stay warm and stay safe. And if you aren't a part of our author community on Facebook, you can join by searching the Indie Authors e-connection. I'm more than happy to help you and assist you and welcome you to a community of authors who are on our way to the top to producing best-selling books. Okay, you guys, have a great night.